Good afternoon, people. This is the JT Sports Show, episode 41. We have a special episode today because not only is Fire Falvey here, but Lewis Crosby is on. I've never started an episode like that. Fire Falvey.
That was nice.
Lewis Crosby is also here, and we're here to talk about the Twins and the NFL football. We are only 3 weeks out. Lewis, we're only 3 weeks out. The football season's nearing. The Twins season we're sort of in the dog days right now, but they're looking like they're going to make the playoffs. NBA season's coming up. NHL season's coming up. It's a great time to be a sports fan. How are you doing?
Well, it's a great time to be a sports fan in about 2 weeks. Right now, it's kind of a boring time to be a sports fan, but I'm doing well. Extremely excited for the NFL season to start. Enjoying watching the Twins beat up on the good teams and then get swept by the Royals, and it makes no sense.
No, I get it. We're going to talk about that real quick, but first, Jackson, I have to say hello to you. Good evening.
Good evening, guys. Lewis, thanks for coming on.
Oh yeah, excited to be.
It's great when we get your opinions.
We have to talk about this Twins team. It's one of the most confusing teams I've ever followed on the day-to-day basis. They'll lose 3 to the Detroit Tigers. They'll go win a series in Philadelphia. I think it's partially because of the pitching. The hitting is obviously inconsistent. But Lewis, I need to hear your take because I don't know what to think about this team. Like I said, 1 week they'll look one way and another week they'll look another way.
I just think I'm just going to be an optimist now, which is not always a good thing for a Twins fan because obviously no playoff win since 2004.
Sure.
This team does have guys on the roster that if they get hot in about a month, there's potential for a little bit of a run. I'm not saying World Series, but at least a playoff win or two is what I would like. If they win the wild card series, that'd be fantastic.
Yep.
But let's just get in the playoffs, see what our matchup is. They're going to be home games because they're going to win the division. So just try to get some good pitching, which they've had, and just let the bats get hot for a couple games. And they have the players. It's just whether they can put it all together at the same time.
Yeah, last week we talked about this, and I agree with you. I think this team is more equipped to win a playoff game or series, but first of all, game, than any team in the past, I don't know how many years. Just based on the fact that we have pitching now. Hitting can get hot. Pitching cannot get hot. You don't just have a starting rotation that just somehow gets hot in October. That's just not how baseball works. But with Pablo Lopez, here's a question before I say that. Who is this team's best pitcher right now?
I don't know. Because the answer back in form again?
The answer changes every week, but I have an answer. I don't think it's Sonny Gray. I think it's Pablo Lopez. I think Pablo has the best stuff. Sonny Gray, when he gets past 5 innings, starts to melt down, which could be an issue in the playoffs, given the fact that I'm not confident in our 6th, 7th, and 8th inning relievers until we get to Duran, who has also been a little shaky. But I just don't know. Sonny Gray, if the playoffs started right now, I have Pablo Lopez starting game 1, just based on the fact that he can give you 7 innings, without a doubt. And I don't know. I think he has the best stuff. I think he's been our best pitcher for the last couple of months. There were a couple outings early in the season where he struggled, but other than that, he's been good. I mean, he had a bad game against the A's, I think. I don't know. But Pablo's good. I like Pablo.
Yeah, Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, what about my guy Ober?
Yeah.
Ober's been my favorite all year, but
it's very tall.
Ultimately, I think game 1, I think I'm going to go with Sonny. He deserves it. He's been our best pitcher all season. Yes, he has sucked in the 6th and 7th inning, but I'm going to reward Sonny for his good season. And hey, he wants to get paid this summer or this winter. So you gotta perform in the playoffs. Give him the ball. Let's see how he performs. And I agree with Lewis and how he said that we can have some guys get hot. I mean, John, I've been saying it to you all summer. Just get there. Just get there and hope you catch fire. Because look at the Phillies. Look at the Phillies last year. They're an 88-win team. They obviously probably have a lot better team offensively than we do. But like you said, Lewis, we have some guys that can get hot. And I don't see why that can't happen to us if we can just catch lightning in a bottle at the right time.
Yeah, because Correa's been just like asleep at the wheel all season. I just keep expecting him to all of a sudden like turn it on because he's normally a second half player.
Yep.
He kind of close to that first half and then turns it on late. So I'm hoping after that big paycheck he got this year, let's turn it on. Maybe is what's Buxton's deal these days though? I don't even know what his status is these days. I don't like kind of disregarding him anyway. But
the expectations for
probably.
Byron should be on the floor right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't play in the field, and he's proven that he's not a great hitter when he's not playing in the field for whatever reason. I mean, I would want him in our playoff lineup just based on the fact that at any point he can pop off.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be ready for playoffs. He'll be in the playoff lineup, I bet.
So, Jack, just quick question.
I don't know when he'll be back, but by then.
Are you guys ready to give Max Kepler a formal apology, or are we still in a wait and see?
No,
for his what's going to happen?
Jackson is still. I mean, God damn it, Max Kepler has been maybe our best hitter for the last 2 months.
No,
he still says I can't trust him.
No,
what is there not to trust about the player that has been very good for the last 2 months?
The last 3 years. And
okay, but I'm just saying.
Him. You're telling me in the playoffs when he's in that cleanup spot, you're going to be confident? No shot.
More confident than Joey Gallo in that same spot.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't even be in the lineup. He shouldn't even be in the lineup.
Well, he had a good night a couple nights.
We're going to have a healthy Royce Lewis in actually, hopefully tomorrow. He'll be back. So thank you for that. I'm so thankful that it was not a serious injury for Royce again. But he'll be back. But in this lineup, Royce will be healthy. Buxton will probably be back. Kirilloff will hopefully be back. And we're going to have Wallner, who's a stud. Who's looking like a stud these days?
What do you do? What do you do?
And we're still going to bat him fourth in the playoffs, and you cannot trust him. And everyone in the state will see that.
So, John, who plays? Who's your lineup? If you have to make everyone's healthy, like theoretically, who is your lineup in game one? We already know who's pitching, but they have some questions in the infield.
Okay, at catcher, Ryan Jeffers.
Yeah,
easy.
First baseman, Alex Kirilloff. Second base. This is where it gets tricky.
Yeah, like do you put Julian in there?
No.
I think you go
Polanco at second.
You know what makes this if Byron Buxton could somehow play center field, it makes everything fall into place.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you can put Julian at DH, you can put Polanco at second, Correa at short, Royce Lewis at third, and then left field
Wallner,
yep. Center field Buxton, right field Kepler.
Yeah.
DH Julian. Yeah.
But the issue is if Byron's playing designated hitter, then either the infield just gets all screwed up.
It's a big issue.
Julian or Polanco is not playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Royce Lewis, I guess, somehow. But he's got to play.
Yeah.
Maybe Kirilloff.
Big issue. What you could maybe do is you could put Julian at first base and put Kirilloff in the outfield.
I think Julian knows how to play first base.
I know.
Julian can't play the easiest position on the field.
Yeah, I agree. That's why it's a big problem. That's why Buxton needs to get his ass in center field.
Maybe Julian could play left field. Matt Wallner I don't know. It'll get sorted out somehow, but as of right now, there's no good answer. If that happens, I'm guessing Michael A. Taylor's in center field.
Remember when Miranda was supposed to be like good this year? And
we all remember that.
That might have been one of my worst takes ever. I think
I almost got his jersey at the start of the year. Thank God I didn't.
I think at one point I said he was going to be.
I'm getting Miranda.
Yeah,
I said he was going to be the team's best hitter before the season.
That's bad.
All the everything off was like, he lost 20 pounds. Like, look at him. He's in like the best shape of his life.
He's playing third. Oh man.
Yeah.
For one predicted that third base for him was never going to work out. Frankly, anywhere in the field, he's a DH, but I did not anticipate the drop off being this big. I don't think anybody did.
So one issue I have is Duran has to give himself like a handicap of putting someone on base every single inning.
You know why? Goddamn can't just throw his fastball. He has to throw his. No, I'm not saying he should. He feels like he has to throw his curveball.
Yeah.
And slider. When if he just threw his splitter fastball combination, he can't be hit.
But
all of the hits against him.
Is that a Duran thing or is that a
no? I mean, it could
be Mackey.
It could be
Mackey, the pitching coach.
It absolutely could be Pete Mackey, but for whatever reason, everything that bad for Duran goes on when he throws his off-speed pitches, which just is infuriating. It's the Griffin Jacks bit.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Didn't like Mariano Rivera only have like 2 pitches, and like Aroldis Chapman basically only had 2 pitches too? Like couple great closers at their peak. I know Chapman.
Josh Hader just throws his damn fastball up in the zone, and somehow it still hasn't been hit.
Look, if these hitters can hit 100 and 101 mile an hour fastball at the top of the zone, you've got to tip your cap. You know what I mean? Like, fine, I can live with that. But these horrible curveballs are so irritating.
Really, what the real thing is, Duran, what has given him issues is his command has been much worse this year. Last year, it was what made him so good is that he could throw so hard, but yet he never walked people. Now he's walking a bunch of players, and then the base paths are full.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. That's what happened against the Royals when Bobby Witt hit that grand slam. That should never be happening. I don't think he gave up a hit and the bases were loaded.
Yeah.
So
that was a good play by Witt.
Side tangent here. In May and June, who would have guessed that I would have felt confident with Emilio Pagan rolling out in the 7th inning and Max Kepler also hitting well? Like, this team has just flipped.
I'm still not confident in Pagan, but
he's played well.
But to give credit where credit's due, he's been pretty good this year.
Yeah.
He hasn't been in a bunch of high leverage situations, and when he has, it hasn't it hasn't always been pretty, but he has been better.
So now we just need our big guns to wake up. Like Correa, basically.
Caleb Thielbar, I don't have much confidence.
He has.
For whatever reason, Jack loves Caleb Thielbar.
And you hate him.
When the strike zone is 3 inches bigger for Caleb Thielbar, that also
The thing with Thielbar is he'll go five outings where his stuff just somehow looks nasty, and then he'll just throw a meatball curveball right in the zone. It's just mashed to left field.
It's
I'll
okay.
He's having these home games is going to be good. Having these home playoff games is definitely an advantage.
Absolutely.
Thank God the AL Central just is absolutely terrible.
I'm on board with Willie Castro. I like Willie Castro. I'm done with Kyle Farmer.
So done with him. I am so done with Kyle Farmer.
Donovan Solano will be a good guy off the bench in a playoff game.
Until Rocco pinch hits him for Wallner for no reason. But yes.
What about, I kind of like Vasquez's energy, even though he's not the best hitter. Like, it just seems like a great clubhouse guy.
I like Vasquez, and I've been saying it all year. Vasquez is the one player that I feel like at any point can turn around. That damn dude hits more hard hit balls for outs than anybody.
The player I'm the least confident in on this entire roster, probably in the minor leagues too, is Christian Vasquez. That guy is the worst hitter we have by so much. It's awful. Even when he catches, we lose. Jeffers has taken laps around him this past season in the catching department and obviously in the hitting.
Well, the good news is we have Vasquez for a couple more years. So
that is the good news. At $10 million a year. So you're right.
What are your thoughts on Jordan Luplow?
I don't know. Nice to get some new blood in there a little bit.
Nice little addition.
Is there any chance Joey Gallo starts a playoff game?
No.
Yes, there is a chance.
Okay,
yes.
if he hits above 200 for like 2 weeks, maybe.
It'll be if there's injuries. If Kirilloff is hurt, then he's going to start.
Michael A. Tater has been hitting a lot of bombs for this squad, and he's another player that confuses me because he has never hit more than – he had 1 year in 2017 where he had 19 homers. He already has 15. I don't know. I mean, he steals bases. He strikes out a good amount, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on Michael A. Taylor?
Yeah, he's kind of like a Walmart Buxton, kind of, when Buxton's like playing decent.
Yeah. Jack?
He's been a pleasant surprise, yes, but he's not an everyday player. He's just not. And you can't rely on him for 130 games a year. You can't. He can't really hit, but is he a pleasant surprise? Yes. He has been a positive player for the team this year, but like I said, that's not a guy that you want in your playoff lineup, with respect to him.
If the Twins don't win a playoff game, how hot is Rocco Baldelli's seat?
Well, it should be hot for 3 years now. Same with the guy on my screen. But for whatever reason, the leash with these guys, just like with the players, the underperforming players, is so long. But no matter what happens, they'll be back next year. They'll run it back. They'll blame the injuries. They'll blame whatever, and that'll be the same result again and again and again.
Rocco has his ticks. He has his flaws, but overall, Rocco is not the issue. He has never been the issue. What I do think is the whole overall philosophy of the regime between Falvey, the front office, and Rocco, that they love hitting home runs and
It's
that
bad.
striking out's okay.
It's
The
bad.
small ball thing isn't really a thing for them. That's what I don't like about them. But in general, Rocco's fine. Come on.
Plug in the computer. Plug in the computer and just let it make the decisions. This is the lineup today. All right, we're gonna click Control Alt paste and do the mathematician. Here's our lineup.
I mean, what you don't like, Jack, I know you don't like this, is when, for example, a lefty comes in, Alex Kirilloff's hitting, and he wants Donovan Solano to hit because he's a right-handed player. Well, he does. Now that happened one time. I think that happened one time, and it was like Julian for like Kyle Farmer, and you just got pissed off. But that's like one of those things where that was pre-planned. It was probably like an opener starting the game, but nonetheless, I want to read you our team's relievers and how many players, if in a playoff game, are you confident in the seventh inning with a lead to come into the game? Okay. Caleb Thielbar.
As of now, yeah.
Dylan Floro.
No.
Maybe. I'll say yes.
Griffin Jacks.
No.
No.
Josh Winder. No. These guys wouldn't even be considered.
Sands?
I was going to say Cold Sands. No. Brock, you know what? Brock Stewart getting hurt. That really sucked.
Oh, he's been out forever. Yeah.
Is he ever going to come back? Did they put him on the 60-day?
Yeah, it didn't sound good.
One player that I've been wrong about his entire career is Jorge Alcala. I thought that guy had nasty stuff coming in.
Yeah.
I was high on him. 2020, he had a 2.63 ERA in 16 appearances.
I haven't seen him in like 3 months. Is he even up?
Well, he's hurt.
Okay. Yeah, no.
But he's also, it doesn't help that he had a 7 ERA in the games that he played. So
yeah.
All right. Yeah. So right now the Twins have played the Blue Jays.
Hey, what about Pagan? We just skipped over it.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about Emilio. I probably missed his name. Pagan. What about Chris Paddock?
Yeah.
He hasn't played yet.
I like Pagan. Let's get Pagan in there.
Paddock hasn't played yet. He might come back.
I know, but I feel like he might be a bullpen arm in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Dallas Keuchel?
Yeah.
Oh. Come on.
No.
Yeah, let's do it.
No.
That dude,
right. Keuchel.
That dude can't. He has 0 strikeouts in two appearances. That's nearly impossible.
But what about Balazovic?
Yeah. I agree. I don't want to lead with him coming in.
I agree.
Let's just get Duran in there for 3 innings, I guess.
I know. I was wondering about that today. I was wondering if Rocco just says screw it, and puts Duran in the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Wasn't there a time? Maybe it was the start of last year where Duran was like a long inning guy. I'm pretty sure he started his career as like a 2
starter. He was a starter to start his career.
Last year, majority of his starts at the beginning of the year when he was debuting were all 2-inning appearances.
So let's just have Lopez or Gray go 7 innings and only have to worry about the 8th and 9th. That should be.
Sonny Gray cannot. Okay. Well, since we're here talking about pitching, Joe Ryan will better not start a playoff game. And if he does, it better not be against the Blue Jays.
Is that injury real, or is it just he's sucking right now? So
no, it's real, but nonetheless, he can't face good lineups. He sucks.
I don't see him playing a playoff game.
I can't. Joe Ryan is one player that I will never, ever be high on.
So does game 1 and 2, game 1 and 2, I find the starting pitching to be the same level of importance. There's not a huge difference between game. It is nice to win game 1, but
I agree with that. But you start game 1 could come back quicker in maybe the second series.
Lopez and Gray will be the 2, but it's the 3rd game when hopefully that happens. Where
I'll tell you what.
Ober.
Kenta Maeda.
Yeah.
Is freaking good.
Ober.
I could see
He
him
hasn't-
over Ober.
Kenta has April
You would go with
26th.
Kenta over Ober? Come on.
Since Kenta has come back, he has not allowed more than 3 runs in an outing.
I understand that. I still trust Ober over Kenta.
Ober will have a game where it's like, oh, it's here comes 7 runs through 3 innings, basically.
No, not really, actually. He's been
Haley
so
Ober-
good this season.
Yeah, he's been a little shaky for the last 5 starts.
Yeah.
Maybe because he has never pitched this much in a season and they're just riding him.
He's been so good. Come on.
He's been very, very much higher above expectation.
Yeah, that's true.
But
should we move on to NFL here in a second?
real last thing. They would play the Blue Jays right now, but the Mariners are only a game and a half back. Would you rather face the Blue Jays or the Mariners?
Mariners so much.
They had their magic last year of winning a series. Good for them.
Right.
The only thing is the Mariners pitching scares the hell out of me. They could easily come here and we could put up a 0 spot. Toronto's pitching isn't quite as good. That's what I'll say about that.
Their lineup
I would like to see Barrios start a game at Target Field. Okay, let's talk NFL real quick because I thought it would be cool. Only 3 weeks out until the opener. Vikings face the Bucks. That we go through some of the divisions and pick our winners. Before the season, we'll do a bigger NFL preview and get more in depth. But just as a little preview, let's talk about these divisions. I have a couple sleeper picks. Jackson, I don't know if you have your picks done yet, but I will start with this one. The AFC East, I think I might defer with you guys. I have the New York Jets. I think this team is going to be very, very good. I don't think it's all the hype from the Hard Knocks week 1. I just think Aaron Rodgers is a stud. Their defense is ridiculously good. They just got Dalvin Cook. Garrett Wilson's very good.
Brees Hall is probably better than Dalvin. It's way better than Dalvin, in my opinion.
Right, but I don't think that matters that much. No matter what, I think
better
their running game.
He's only played 8 games, but yes, he is good.
Their running game's going to be good. The running back position doesn't matter a lot. That's just point blank. But I think the Jets are going to be very, very good. I mean, talk about an upgrade. Their team was pretty good last year when they had Zach Wilson and who's the other guy ran? Mike White starting. Their team was solid.
Yeah.
And now they have Aaron Rodgers. That's my
who was energized and who was ready to go, who's ready to prove something.
They're winning the
I
Super
also
Bowl.
have the Jets, John. I agree with you. Everything you said.
I do not have the Jets. This is the year that the Buffalo Bills expectations are not as high as they were the previous 2. And that's when a team like that strikes. They were the clear favorites to win the Super Bowl last year coming into it. That's a lot of hype. They just had weird things happen last year. I mean, obviously the DeMar Hamlin situation, but then they just had other weird games that they played. And it was just a very stressful year for the Bills. And they just didn't have it in the playoffs. I think coming in, they got to reset. AFC's tough, but I just think that the Bills, Josh Allen stays under control. It'll be good. And they'll take it.
It's a lot to ask.
Yeah.
Josh Allen likes to get a little crazy with that ball in his hands at times. Not the smartest quarterback when it comes to big situations.
They are underhyped.
Expectations are less.
They're being undervalued. Not a lot of people are talking about the Bills.
Yeah, and they didn't lose a ton of key pieces. They get Von Miller back.
Yeah, I like the Jets though. I think the Jets are going to make it to the AFC Championship.
That might be the best division in football.
Yeah, the Dolphins
the Dolphins are good.
Yeah.
If Tua can stay healthy, and then I don't know what the Patriots are, but they're always decent at least. AFC West, I think is the Chiefs are going to win.
Yeah. Can't pick against the Chiefs until they
Chargers will be a playoff team.
And AFC North.
This is a hard one, really hard.
I have an upset pick in this.
I do too.
Oh, I mean, I do, but it's not a huge upset. I have the Ravens, who are the second favorite in that division.
I have the Cleveland Browns.
So do I.
So none of us have the Bengals, huh? None of us believe.
I mean, I think it's a toss-up. I think the Bengals could easily win. I just feel like the Browns, man, they get Deshaun Watson. People don't forget how good he was with Houston. His lines there were so bad. is offensive line. And the Browns'
Great
offensive line is excellent. They have a fantastic running game. Their defense is good enough.
It's really good. Their defense is good.
Did Deshaun Watson forget how to play football, though?
I don't think so. Like that. Sure, he didn't look good, but he didn't know that system well, and a whole training camp under his belt. They got who did they just get a good receiver? Am I wrong? They got Elijah Bell. Okay, that's David Njoku. He has enough weapons.
Yeah,
and they're running. Chubb's good. I think they might lose. They might hurt a little bit not having Kareem Hunt, but not the end of the world. I think the Browns are gonna surprise a lot of people.
I agree. That's also a great division.
I just like Lamar post-contract situation. That's got sorted out. Like they almost won that playoff game last year
with the backup.
Yeah, like Harbaugh's one of the best coaches in the league. So
I agree.
And also the Steelers are going to be pretty solid too. That's a great division.
That's a great division. Going to be exciting.
Steelers are going to suck.
Well, I don't know about.
Kenny Pickett's not good.
They've never finished below 8-8 with Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin, another great coach.
8-8 sucks.
They might have
they're non-factor.
They might be the best coach division.
Yeah.
Stefanski's
Zach Taylor.
I know I picked them, but
just probably the bottom. But other than that, the three
Zach Taylor,
Tomlin, Harbaugh.
Zach Taylor's not a great coach.
Zach Taylor, if he had Kirk Cousins as quarterback,
they'd be 6-11.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But I love Kirk. Or let's not do Kirk. Let's do a different example. If he had Jared Goff,
Dak.
or Dak. Yeah, Dak. They'd be 4-12 if they had Dak.
AFC South.
Jags. End of discussion.
Yeah, you got to be right. Like, who else would it possibly be?
The Titans, maybe.
I'll tell you. The Tennessee Titans.
I don't see it.
I'm all over. I love going against teams that had a pop-up year. And I'm not saying it was a pop-up year because I do think Trevor Lawrence is great.
Doug Peterson, good coach.
But don't be shocked if they he's a good coach. He's also shown he can be a good coach one year and not a great coach another year. Don't be shocked if they take a minor step back. Teams that take a massive step forward, not saying it was a fluke, but don't be shocked if they take a minor step back. I think the Titans are just always right there. Derrick Henry's still there.
Do you remember watching Titans game last year and them not being able to gain more than 10
yards? The quarterback is Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill is perfect for them.
He is mid. He is not perfect. Ryan Tannehill is not a perfect quarterback for any team. Come on.
Let's get Will Levis in there. Let's just have some fun.
Yeah, let's just see what happens.
Malik Willis was the reason. Do they ever need a receiver? They got DeAndre Hopkins.
I don't care.
Dude,
that matters.
In that division.
How about DeAndre Hopkins going like, oh yeah, I want to win a Super Bowl. Tennessee Titans. What a weird move that was.
When they had AJ Brown, they were a decent passing offense.
Yeah, screw them for trading AJ Brown to Philly. What a joke that was.
That
was a joke. Traylon Burks is a good receiver too. Don't sleep on the Titans.
Good point. They have They have a good receiving core now.
All right, let's move to the NFC real quick. The NFC East. I think this is pretty easy. I think it's the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, easy.
Dallas Cowboys are my pick, but
no.
Are you serious?
It is extremely hard to go to a Super Bowl and then come back the next year and be as good as you were the previous year.
They got better, though. They got better.
The way they win games is sustainable. They have a good defense, and Jalen Hurts is just like a super good quarterback.
He is. I think he's the two best players in the draft. Quarterback in the league, and that's where everyone has him at.
Yeah, but the way he can just win games with his legs, his arm, I don't know what it is about him, but he just is so hard to play against.
Listen, Mike McCarthy, he's going to come in firing this year. He knows job on the line.
No.
Let's go. Dak knows job on the line.
Their defense was incredible last year, and they still only won one play. Like they were a non-factor to even go, like who'd they lose in the playoffs? The Niners?
Yeah.
Famous last play.
Zeke getting smoked.
Yeah, they don't have Zeke anymore. Obviously, that doesn't really make a difference, but They got Brandon Cooks. Dak is still Dak. Dak's gonna Dak. I mean, I consider the Giants over the Cowboys.
Nah, the Giants are in no man's land. I think they're gonna miss the playoffs. The Giants.
I mean, odds are they miss the playoffs, but Daniel Jones is solid. Saquon had a very good year last year.
I hate the Eagles are like one of my least favorite teams in the NFL, but I like the people on their team. I just hate their fans.
Yeah.
Like Jalen Hurts is
coach.
a great person. Like they have very good people on their team, but like screw them.
You like Sirianni?
Nah, whatever.
No.
No.
That guy's a loser.
Yes.
They
NFC
lost both their coordinators. That's not nothing.
What'd you say?
They lost both their coordinators. That's not nothing.
That's true. NFC West. This division's interesting, actually. I was going to say it sucks, but it's quite interesting. I don't know what to think of the Cardinals with their new head coach. I do think Cliff Kingsbury was ass, so I think they could be much better. We'll see if Kyler can improve. Who are their wide receivers now that Hopkins is gone? Marquise Brown is their number one.
They're going
option.
to be terrible.
Yep, they're going to be bad.
They might be the worst team in the league, but I just think there's a clear winner in this division. It's the 49ers. Like, it's not even close.
I mean, maybe the Seahawks.
Rams can be, or not the Rams can be better than people think, but they're not going to like.
Yeah. No, I had the Niners here.
Yeah.
NFC North. This one's kind of interesting. This is another one of those things where I am not as high on the Lions as other people think.
No, people like crown the Lions like NFC champions.
Like I said, people love to think that one team that has a great year, even though they didn't make the playoffs, is just going to somehow come back and just keep him. I don't know. People are a little too high on the Lions right now. Their defense
and people are high on the Bears too. It's like, do we forget the Bears had the worst record in the league last year?
I don't think people actually think the Bears are going to be super good. People think that
Justin Fields is like he's gotten the most bets to win the MVP out of anyone.
Well, you see his stat line in that preseason game, but actually what he did on those passes. I know. I saw his stat line. I'm like, oh my God. And then I watched the highlights. I think the Vikings win the division.
I do too. Might be a homer pick, but like they didn't.
I don't think it is.
Like,
you know who's going to finish second?
Yeah,
the Green Bay Packers. They're not going to be bad. The Vikes are going to win. The Vikes are going to win the division. I agree. The Vikings. Of course, I'm a homer. I'm the biggest homer, but I like our team. We're probably going to go 11-6, 10-7, and it's going to be good enough to win the division. But the Packers have a really good defense. It is, and Jordan Love might not be bad. I think people are sleeping on the Packers, and they're probably going to finish second.
You could tell me about 8 different combinations to this NFC North, and I'd believe you if you said any of them.
Not the Bears.
The Bear. I mean, Justin Fields could just somehow be unbelievable.
No. Okay, don't believe what the media is telling you.
Like shows flashes, and then he'll just like lose games late in the fourth quarter. He's not a winner yet. Like the amount of games that he blew in the fourth quarter last year.
Who says he can't? Who you can't? I mean, you can improve that.
Yeah, you can improve that, but like you got to prove it to me a little bit.
I mean, he was a stud at times. There was a time in the middle of last season where he was unbelievable with his legs.
And then just back making interception, end of the game.
Well, maybe he was told to lose the game.
Yeah, there's no taking in the NFL. That's not a thing.
I think it goes Vikings, Lions, Packers.
Oh my, come on! I like Packers. The Bears are not a good football team.
I didn't say they're good. That's third in the division.
I think
the Packers are ass.
The worst two teams in the NFC again, I think, will be the Cardinals and the Bears, probably. And maybe
the Packers.
I don't know. Are the Buccaneers going to be like?
The Bucs are also. You're right. The Bucs are going to be horrible. Yes.
So are the Cardinals.
And the Bears.
So are the Reds. So are the goddamn Commanders. Who's the Commanders quarterback? Who's that? Sam Howell. Yeah, they're going to be bad.
Finally, Rivera going to get fired.
I think this year is going to prove what kind of coach Matt LaFleur is. For years.
I like Matt LaFleur.
For years, it was Aaron Rodgers carrying. Aaron Rodgers carrying that team. It'll be interesting to see what they do without Aaron Rodgers, and for LaFleur, who was always quoted as such a great football coach.
Yes,
for him to have
I totally agree.
First-time starter in Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I really hope they suck.
such a genius, just such a
Yeah.
brilliant young mind.
It was just Rodgers throwing to Devontae Adams.
So NFC South.
Oh, my favorite division. Psych.
I think this is
snooze
the
fest
hardest. This is the hardest to choose. The Saints got Derek Carr.
Well, a lot of new quarterbacks, at least. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara is suspended for 3 games.
Frank
Bryce
Reich
Young?
with the Panthers. He's
Real
going to turn
quick.
him around.
Real quick, I have a question. Name a player that had a bigger downfall in the middle of their career than Michael Thomas. That
Slam
dude
boy?
was the number 1 receiver in the league for like 2 years.
Then he got like turf. Then he kept getting like turf toe.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he'd sit out for like
Yeah.
10 weeks.
He's like a wide
That is
receiver
true.
3 on a horrible team now.
Yeah.
It's weird. That's a weird career arc. But I think the Panthers are going to win this division.
With Frank Reich and Bryce Young, Adam
Thielen. Their defense is good.
Sure.
I think any of these teams could win the
You could
division.
tell me any team wins this division, and I'd be like, all right.
And that's why I was looking at the odds. I'm like, it wouldn't be a dumb idea to bet on the Bucks to win this division at like plus 1,000.
I don't see the Bucks.
Well, it could happen.
I could see anyone winning this division. I'm going to have a non-pick.
Bucks have a good defense, and Baker Mayfield, I don't know. I mean, he's fine. Good enough. They still
Are
have
you
Godwin and
serious?
Evans.
He is no.
He's good
Baker's
enough to
like
win
the
this
28th best
division.
quarterback in the league.
The best quarterback in this division is, well, right now, Derek Carr. Who's
I have the
starting
Saints
for the
winning.
Falcons?
I
Is
got
Ritter?
the Saints.
Yeah, it's got to be Desmond Ritter, right?
It is Ritter.
Yikes. That guy stinks.
Is Mariota even in the league anymore?
He's the
No.
backup for the Eagles.
Oh.
Yikes. All right, real quick, before we end this, give me your Super Bowl pick right now.
I have the 49ers beating the Buffalo Bills.
Quite the long shot.
Long shot. 49ers?
I'm kidding. It was the opposite of long shot. I think that's fine pick. I don't think the Bills are gonna get that far, but I think the Jets are gonna make the Super Bowl, and I think
I
they're
do
gonna
too.
win the Super Bowl.
I do too.
I think the Jets are gonna beat. I haven't even thought about the NFC. Crystal ball. The Eagles
Yes,
again.
I'm with the Eagles.
Eagles
Gonna
are
win
so
17
good.
games.
Eagles are so
I
good.
know. John, I totally agree with you. That's what I was gonna do, but
Not back to back.
I'm gonna go.
Have to do.
I'm gonna
Can't
go
do it.
Vikings. I'm gonna go
The
the
Chiefs
Vikings.
have done it.
I'm gonna go. The Vikings are gonna beat the Jets in the Super Bowl.
You guys are so high on the Jets. I cannot wait to bet
They're
the
good.
Jets.
The Jets are. I
The
think the Jets are gonna make the
Jets
AFC
are-
championship for
I'm
sure.
going to wait
Jets.
until a day before the season starts for everyone to after watching Hard Knocks, everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, the Jets are going to go
That's
I'm doing
not
this-
why.
I'm
don't
doing this
care
before
about that.
Hard Knocks. I don't give a crap about Hard
I
Knocks.
agree
The
with-
Jets
I-
are going to be
fuck, I agree.
studs.
I agree.
Robert Saleh is a good coach.
Robert
they have
Salah is not a good coach.
they have everything that you need in a good team. A good quarterback, a great running game,
Great defense.
good receivers, excellent defense. What else do you want?
Yeah. I think Vikings over Jets.
One of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
Their over is going to be way too juiced. Is the issue?
Do you like Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Yes.
I do too.
I'm not
I'm a big
sold that
fan.
he is an MVP anymore, though.
No, but he doesn't.
Did you
does he
watch
have
him
to
all
be?
season?
Does he have
Or
to
was
be
that
an
just
MVP?
was that just surly Aaron Rodgers?
That.
No, that's
I think it was-
absolutely
no,
could be the
honestly,
case.
Lewis, I think it probably was. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. He
It
might have done the
probably
thing.
was.
He might have done like a mini version of Fat James Harden.
His
and just wanted
best
to get out of
receiver
there.
was also goddamn Alan Lazard.
Christian Watson.
Okay, Christian Watson. That was his. Like Garrett Wilson's really good, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's their second best receiver?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Alan
Who do you got?
Lazard.
Randall
That's
Cobb.
got Randall
He's
Cobb.
got Randall Cobb on third down, a little short
Yeah.
curl route.
Yeah.
Cobb,
But his running
Cobby.
game. I mean, he's got 3 great running backs.
You got Tyler Conklin, CJ Uzama.
Yeah. Those are
Not the
solid tight
greatest two
ends.
tight ends of all time.
What?
Not the greatest two tight ends of all time.
Those are solid tight ends. Those are Uzama's decent player.
Uzama will show up with like a 20-yard receiving touchdown like once every 4 weeks.
Yeah. Conklin's decent. We know Conklin. I liked Conklin.
Sure.
I mean, he's a fine football player.
What?
Tyler Conklin.
He's
Okay.
a solid tight end.
All right. I think that's good enough. Lewis, thank you for coming on. You don't want to stick around for more basketball talk, but me and Borski.
What do you think about the jerseys, Lewis?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. They're just a mess. Someone like spilled like light blue like Gatorade on them. Then just like, oh, this is good enough. Like, here we go.
Hey, I mean, did you see the jerseys from last year?
Yeah, I know. They look like that apartment in downtown Minneapolis.
Thank you.
What's it called?
What?
What's that apartment called?
I don't know. The
No,
project.
Yeah, I kind of like them. I think the back of the jerseys are really cool.
Why can't we just go back to like the black ones?
Teams now, if you realize this isn't just NBA or the Wolves, this is any team. Teams don't go back to like old jerseys. They just don't do it.
Yeah, whatever. I just don't care. Like whatever. They're not going to be good again, and it's.
I think the Wolves are going to be quite solid this year.
I can't wait until they either get swept and then it's like, oh, like we almost like beat the champions. Like we beat them in a quarter. Congratulations. Cue the duck.
Good news is we have the best athlete in Minnesota sports right now. Best young athlete.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson.
No, Anthony Edwards has a higher ceiling. In the NBA, one player in the NBA matters so much more than one player in the NFL. That's quite obvious.
That's saying something because JJ is on pace to beat Jerry Rice. And that's saying something because JJ's on a historic pace.
Yeah. Well, as long as Karl Anthony Towns is on the Timberwolves, they will not win. So
that's fair.
Hey, you're not gonna get any disagreement from us on that one.
And Rudy Gobert learned how to shoot. So congratulations to him for making a 3-pointer. So
Rudy's not our issue, but
no,
that's neither here nor there. Lewis, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll have another deep, in-depth NFL preview prior to week 1 because football season's the best, and we'll have plenty to talk about. Throughout the season, we'll try to get together maybe once a week, if not, maybe once every other week to talk about the games and what's going on with the Vikings and other NFL teams. But
John and I will be doing once a week, but Lewis.
Oh, I'm ready to
love it if you can
all the time.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis is always open to talk about football. I know that. And the Twins are going to be in the playoffs, so maybe we'll have to talk about that too.
That might only last 3 days, though. But yes,
no, they're going to win a series this year.
Okay, the Guardians aren't catching up to them.
Hey, you never know.
All right, thanks, Lewis.
Yeah, good night, guys.
See you, Lewis.
All right, Jack. Let's do this. Let's talk about Ant and Feeble real quick before we go. The last two games.
Yeah.
First game against Slovenia.
3 games. Talk 3 games, right?
Sure. Have we not talked about the first one?
I don't think we did.
Well, we'll just talk about them in a nutshell. Ant has looked very, very good.
Yes.
Not only has he been aggressive for the most part, besides maybe the first half of the third game.
Yes.
He has been very good on both ends. The defensive end has probably been even more impressive than the offensive end. That's what all the national speaking heads are talking about, is how freaking Ant can lock up. When if you watched a one game of Anthony Edwards with the Wolves, you would realize how good his on-ball defense is. You know how good it is. What have your thoughts been on Ant and the team in general?
It's been super fun to watch. When he wants to, he just instantly becomes the best player on the floor. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. The third game, I wasn't as happy with him, but his second half was really, really good. In the first half, he was kind of standing around, just kind of, we all know it. We all know the stand around. But the second half, he didn't do that. He took over. He had the ball at the end of the game, which was good to see. And I think the players on the team recognize it. Which, I mean, they give it to him. I don't see any selfishness with the U.S. team, but I do with the Wolves when it comes to giving Ant the ball. I'm telling you. I never see Ant. No, well, I'm just saying, I never see Brunson or Bridges or Ingram not past him actively. On the Wolves, I see them actively not past him. I don't know if you feel the same way,
I
But
don't.
it looks a lot different on the USA team when he wants it. Like Jaren Jackson Jr., they instantly give it to him. On the Wolves, it's like, where is he? Oh, okay.
I think
I'm
in
telling
both instances, when Ant wants the ball, he can get the ball. I'll always feel that way until something changes. I will feel that way. When Ant stands in the corner, that's on Ant. When Ant wants the ball at the top of the key, Ant can go get the ball and do what he does. It is really cool that, for whatever reason, in the biggest moments of both the NBA season last year and in this FIBA tournament, late in the game, Ant shows up and makes the big plays and makes the highlight plays, whether it's the blocks. There's nothing cooler. I'd way rather see Ant have a massive block than make like a big three. I just think it's the best.
I like the threes a lot though. But yeah, those step backs.
Well, I mean, they're both cool. But when he makes a massive block like the one on CJ McCollum against the Pelicans,
Yeah.
or that one they called a foul on him in the third game, and then he had another block that led to a transition dunk. That was cool. I don't know. I think this is great for Ant. I think this is all cool. Cat is now playing for Dominican Republic. They are going to play against Canada on Friday. I hope Canada wins by 40, and I hope Cat goes over 20. Your thoughts?
Yeah.
No, I'm actually kidding. I want Cat not to be really good. I don't want his confidence to skyrocket again.
Yes.
I want him to. You know what would be best case scenario is his confidence be quite low coming into the season. So then he starts passing more. Then the team starts winning, and he realizes, wow, this is how we win. If I pass the ball, if I don't shoot a lot, that would be best case scenario. And
It'd
this
be great
is where
if the
it all
coaching
starts.
staff realized that too. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Cat is one of the most efficient offensive players in the league. So you kind of have to let him score.
Hasn't resulted in a lot of wins though.
100%. I'm talking statistically, and what would you'd think help a team win is a guy that can shoot 40% from three.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But like I said last night over text, John, we need Ant to lead this team to gold. We need USA to win because then next year it'd be pretty hard to leave him off that Olympic team.
Yeah, it's not at the top of my concerns right now. He will. What he is doing right now is a little less important than what he does in this upcoming NBA season.
Yeah.
If he becomes a flat-out superstar this upcoming season, then he's on that Olympic team. Zero doubt about it.
True. But this is good, though. You get the USA experience. You play with these guys. And winning gold, that's a good thing.
Yeah. They haven't won gold in like the last... I saw someone... I think I was listening to the Hoop Collective with Wendy or something. They haven't won in a long time. Like, I didn't know that. I thought they would, like... They won the World Cup. Yeah, it's been a while. So that's kind of, I guess, good in terms of Ant's team can do it.
Yeah.
The new jerseys, you like them? We sort of talked about them.
Well, I think they're a big improvement of last year. That's not saying anything, but they're a lot better than last year. So that's fine with me.
Young Gravy unveiling them. You like that?
Whatever. I like Nas and Conley being there.
Yeah. Would you be opposed to the Wolves signing Mike Conley past this season?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
You need to see more from him?
Well, I don't know if I'd be opposed. It just kind of depends on how it all looks, how the distribution of the ball is, who's running the offense, that kind of thing. But maybe I wouldn't. I mean, but he's 36. I mean, he's going to be 37 or 38 after this season, going into next year. So,
yeah, this is something that we'll talk about when the season comes closer. But just right this second, what's like two things that just pop into your mind when it comes to what you're going to be looking for right when the season starts, not named Anthony Edwards?
Yeah. First thing that comes to mind is Nas. Just Like, I don't know.
Continuing what he did when he was on his hot stretch last year.
Yes. Sixth man of the year type stuff.
Yeah.
That. And the second thing that popped to my mind was Minot, but I kind of want to do something else.
I don't think
I don't even know if he's going to be in. I don't know if he's going to be in the rotation.
He's not.
The next thing,
you want to see a little less of Kyle Anderson, don't you?
That didn't really pop in my mind, but it would be nice to not see him with the ball in his hands as much. The next thing that popped in my mind was Cat, but we kind of already talked about that.
Yeah.
And his assertiveness.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Jaden McDaniels? What do you want to see from him? Do you want to see an aggressive Jaden McDaniels or not?
I would like to see him hit every single three that he attempts. That's
so
what
if
I would like to see.
If he becomes a big, like mid-range 10, 12 feet pull-up guy, are you okay with that?
If he makes them. But if he doesn't, I'm not a fan of that at all.
Well, sounds about right.
Because then that means that he's going to be taking more shots and potentially not high percentage shots. But I want Jaden to hit every single three. I want him to be automatic from.
I love how no matter what it is, it doesn't matter the player. It doesn't matter the player. It's all about just not taking shots away from me. When let's be honest here, other guys have to shoot as well. And I would like to see our young 22-year-old who has a very deep bag that hasn't quite opened it up in the NBA yet, exploit what he has shown he can do in videos and practices and what everybody's saying that's around him. Jaden McDaniels can be a superstar. He can be an all-star. He can be a perennial all-star. I truly believe that. With how good he is defensively and his ability to not only make open threes, but have a pull-up game with his length, he is like a mini version of Brandon Ingram that can also play defense.
Well, is Cat going to be okay with all these extra shots that are now going to Jaden and not him? Now all of a sudden he's third on the team in shots.
Listen, this is a question. And these are all questions because we don't know what it's going to look like. What's this? Remember last year going into the season when I said after like 20 games, I'm like, give me a 25 game sample size.
Yes.
And then it was like 30 game sample size. And then Cat got hurt. What's like the sample size this year?
It's much shorter, I think.
Okay. I'm saying until you can legitimately be mad and say this absolutely will not work.
I honestly think like 5 games. I'm not kidding.
No,
I'm not. I'm not
okay.
kidding.
Yeah, but that's not big enough for like, what if they play 5 games, they go 4-1, but it doesn't look great? Or what if they play 5 games, their opening schedule's really hard, they go 2-3, but they look pretty good? It's hard. It's hard.
That's fine. As long as how it looks. It needs.
So
I need to
you're
be
telling me
satisfied with what I'm seeing.
You're telling me if they look pretty good and they're playing some good teams quite tough, but they lose the games, you're going to be okay with it?
I mean, it depends on how we lose them, but
Well, my point is like, I don't think you're going to be okay no matter what. I think you're going to see Cat on the floor and you're going to shake your head no matter what we do, even if we're 10-0. Which can be fair.
Yeah. That's probably true. I need to see our schedule. I want to see our schedule already.
I think it's going to be released in the next week or 2.
I saw that we're not on Christmas again. Not that's a surprise, but
yeah,
I wish we were
either. Yeah,
I wish we were.
We're not on the opening night schedule or Christmas, which is neither of them are surprising. But
I hope we're not the third night of the year. At least give us the second night. Like give us. Did the season start on a Tuesday?
It started on a Wednesday last year.
Okay, so give us Thursday.
I will be reporting, or I will be when the Wolves are in Utah. I will be reporting live from Salt Lake City.
No,
and when the Wolves are in Los Angeles and Phoenix, I will be both reporting live from Crypto.com Arena.
Let's go.
And Footprint Center. So
what's Footprint Center?
The home of the Phoenix Suns.
The Suns. Okay, that is fantastic news. That is so good. What's your record prediction for us?
Boots on the ground. I'll go
I mean, honestly, I've been very, very optimistic lately. I think this team could be good. I really do. When this team has high expectations, they live below them. Nobody has high expectations for this team, and they will only get better.
Except for
from last year.
themselves.
Well, that's obvious. Every team has high expectations for themselves coming into the season. But seriously, man, I think this team could be really, really good. I think they could go, worst case scenario, 48, 49 wins. I think they could easily go 52 and 30.
Yeah. Just the West is too good. Like there's like 3 bad teams in the West, if that. Maybe even 2 bad teams.
I don't care. They could be so good. Anthony Edwards is so good. And Ant's going to come out of the season so differently from last year.
Are you confident in that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jaden improved. Naz Reid. Mike Conley can illustrate things.
You're missing one.
Cat's okay.
Yeah, there it is.
He's
there
fine. Cat is talented. Rudy was horrible to start the season last year.
Other than his first game, yeah.
He was horrible to start the season last year. He had bad knees. If he stays healthy, he's cool. Rudy was so good in that playoff series against Denver, and nobody gives him credit for it.
I'm already getting nervous for the season where it's just like
Nikhil is solid off the bench.
Where it's just
the
bad.
Hey, we have a legit point guard off the bench.
Yeah, but it's
no more J-Mac. Shake Milton.
No more D'Lo. But it's the bad, like their teams are running on us.
That didn't happen late in the season. Why didn't that happen? Because they figured out
the offense is so stagnant, and it's just it's taking turns. It's taking turns. It's taking turns, and it's not moving the ball. It's that.
Let's be fair. Can we be fair here? What we saw in that Warriors and Wizards game early in the season,
and Suns,
those were not things that happened late in the season.
Yeah, you're
like the way we lost. Yeah. Something changed in terms of like we weren't getting run off the court like we were early in it. Like those were
an accomplishment.
When we let up like 145 against the Wizards, that was bad. When we let up that Warriors game, I was obviously at the game. I left in the beginning of the third quarter. I couldn't watch it. We were down by like 30 points.
I think the Knicks game was the worst one. Remember the Knicks game?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
And the Suns. Remember there was like 4 in a row where we literally got played off the floor.
The worst game was the Warriors. They were just making fun of us. I mean, it was like an embarrassment to our franchise. They were literally just going tic-tac-toe, and Andrew Wiggins and Curry and Draymond. It was an embarrassment. And we were down by like 25 in the first quarter. I'm serious. We were down by so much in the first quarter.
Oh, I witnessed it. Well, not live, but I was watching.
Yeah.
Wasn't exactly happy.
I'd be curious to see what your text messages were that game.
Yeah, should be new exercise.
That should be
old text messages.
Our day, every episode we go back and look at a few text messages.
Oh, that needs to be a bit. Today, no, it's not an old. It's an old game. Like it's a day. So for the audience to be, today we're going back to December 15th, where the Wolves were at Sacramento. Let's check the text for this one.
Oh man,
they're probably not appropriate to put on the air. Let's just.
What do you think is a record? And then we'll get out of here before the hour mark.
Probably 48 and 34.
All right. So you think they get better?
Better than 42 and 40. Wow.
Cheers.
But optimistically, I'd say like 51 wins.
That's good.
But the floor is probably like 44 wins. 44 and 38 is the floor. 48 and 34 is the average, and the ceiling, I'm going to guess, is like 51.
One more hypothetical. Not really a hypothetical, but say we win 51 games. Who is the second person in line that deserves the most credit for the team, just in general? Like that one, if they win 50 some games, that hasn't happened since 2004. Say they do that. Besides Anthony Edwards, who in the whole organization deserves credit for helping the team get back to that point?
Probably Finch. I'd say
And
Finch
you have wanted him fired.
or Gerson.
Interesting. Gerson did trade for D'Lo, thinking he was one of our studs.
He also got Jaden, drafted Jaden, and he also picked up a guy named Naz Reid in the undrafted market.
There's no doubt Gerson was a good GM. Very bad behind the scenes. Toxic culture. And that was going
I
to
don't know
fume at
about
any
that.
point. It was a toxic culture. You can ask Doogie Wolfson.
Oh yeah, you mean the Ryan Saunders? Oh, never mind.
All right. That's enough Wolves talk. We talked about the Twins. We talked NFL. We talked a little Ant, FIBA, Timberwolves upcoming season. It'll be interesting. I'm excited. Doogie's excited. You're excited. They got new jerseys.
We love Doogie, by the way.
Of course.
Doogie, please,
We'll have to have Doogie back on here real soon.
please don't.
We need a couple scoops.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right,
He's the best.
Jackson, thank you for coming on here. This is a long one. This is an hour long. We hit a lot of talking points, but that's needed when we talk about all these different things going on, and it's only going to get more busy as time goes on.
Yeah. Go team.
All right. Yeah, hell yeah. I think the next game is on Friday.
Yeah, against Germany.
I don't know who they play. I'm excited
The
for
real
when
game.
When does it all start? Like the
The
27th or
26th.
something?
The 26th is the actual games.
All right,
So.
cool. Well, we'll be dialed on that, and then
We
training
will.
camp starts right around the corner, and Target Center will be buzzing. Thanks everybody for listening to the JT Sports Show. Go follow us on all social media platforms. Go like and subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Give us a follow on Twitter or Instagram, and everybody have a excellent week. We go.